Hello, welcome to Java. Okay, we're in the last project and we're into the last assignment here. You've got two options. You can create a Java applet registration form with a minimum 5 fields, an OK and a cancel button, and HTML code to display your applet, or you can create a program to display a frame similar to the one shown below. So I'm going to show you how to do this both in the JDK and how to do these in the Java NetBeans. Okay, so I'm going to bring up my code first. This is for the first one. So registration form with a minimum of 5 fields and OK and cancel button. So I haven't done the OK and cancel button, but let me show you how this works. Okay, if I'm doing the JDK method, I have my five labels. Label 1, label 2, label 3, label 4, label 5, and 5 text fields. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they're pretty much set up all the same. The only thing I'm changing is I'm doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? So the next thing I do is I'm going to set the label to say something. So what's what? A registration form, right? So the first one says, what's your name? Then the text field where you're going to put it is, I'm just going to put your name in there so you know where to put your name. So the label for the second one says number and street name. So where you're going to put it just says in there address 1. Label 3 says city and state. And the text field where you're going to write the city and state is just going to say address 2. Label for 4 says set text for zip code. And then you're just going to set zip. And lastly, we'll do the 5th field for a phone number. And then we just set the phone. Now this is a swing, and it's a group layout. Now I've just done this in this particular fashion, but you don't have to go the way I went. So you see, I chose the flow layout. Flow layout is the easiest one for me to do. I just figure out where on the grid I want to put things, and I put the locations on it. But you probably would, not knowing where everything goes, you'd probably use a grid layout, or maybe a grid bag layout if you wanted to change the size of components. So you have all these different options. I chose the flow layout because what I do is I build it on a grid, and then I determine where everything's going to go. So if you're not willing to do that extra work, go with a grid layout or something like that. But I'm just showing you what I did. So this next big section is just where you're putting things. Okay, and gaps and everything like that. Like I said, if you just go with the basic grid layout, you can just use a default size and put stuff where you want them to go, okay? And I think that's kind of, I don't like the look of that, but you know what? It's your game or it's your program. You do it the way you want. So you're doing this the Java Development Kit way. This is probably what you'll end up doing. You probably won't go like me and do everything on a grid and then copy and paste it into here. You'll probably go and with a grid and do it sequentially. So finally, when you're done, you declare your variables, and you do once again your 5 labels and your 5 text fields. Well, here you can see with this example from the class that this is just a simple layout here. It's a lot less complicated than the one I did. So all they did was the simple user extends frame here. And then they set the frame size here, 300 by 300 pixels. So what we put up here, we put a button, the text field, a couple of labels, another button, and another text field. Okay, The first button says OK on it. The second button says cancel on it. Then we have just a couple blank fields with nothing in them. Okay, then we have a couple new labels. And in the label, the first one is set to say username. The second label is set to say password. Now these are all sizes, okay? So these sizes are just set sequentially. So they'll be just next to each other. Object 1, this is the size of object 1. Label 1, label 2, text field 2, button 1 and button 2. And then they're added to the frame. See, just a simple procedure here. Mine was a little more complicated because I chose a free-form method, okay? I just used a different methodology. So this will give you an easier result if you wanted to go this way. Okay, let me show you how much easier this is in the Java Beans. Okay, the Java Beans, I click New. And then I come down here and I find AWT GUI forms. And this particular one is an applet form. So I just click Next. And I give it a name. Project 7. And I click Finish. It might take a while for this to pop up, but there you have it. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this to a free design. So I right click in here. I'm going to set layout to free design. That means I can put wherever I want it to go. So I take label and I drag it over here. And I see I have these things that help me line it up. So I come down here and I see where my label is. And I'm going to call this one name. Next I'm going to put on here a text field. Make it bigger. And I'm going to write inside the text field your name. Write your name. Okay, so that's one. Here's the second one. Bring it over here. Come down. The text, I put in number and street. And I'm going to take another text field. I'm going to stretch it out. And I call this one address 1. I write next label. And I call this city and state. Then I put my address to list text field up there. Make it whatever size I want it to be. And call it address 2. Now see, here's color. You want to put color in there? You can put color in there. You can change the text. This is your thing, okay? I'm just being fast. Address 2. Okay, then we make a third one here. Label. Pull it up. And we'll call the label zip. So it's going to say zip code. I'm going to put my text field here, line it up. Find text and put zip. And finally, I'll put a phone number. So find my text field, put it here. Come on down, type in phone number. And I'll put in the label on the side. Phone number. And now I'm going to put a button. And here we go. Down here, we'll just put text, okay. And we'll put the instructions here with the label. Click to register. And we'll put this button here. Cancel. There you go. So now I can look at my source code. And really it doesn't look a whole lot different. You got some hidden stuff in here. So we're pretty much done. I guess we can go put this on an HTML form. So you can make your form HTML. And let me see. Title. My form. And title. And you want your body. This is my form. And from there, what you can do is you can put up here applet. And the name of your applet was what? This applet was called trial.java, and the applet. And file, save, form, .html. There you go, form.html. So you just put those two in there, And you're done with that first part. You can always do the second part. The second part is much easier, I think. It's the same kind of thing, however. Here's the one where you put the different types of things up there. There's a label, there's a button, there's a scroll pane, and a text field. And see, you J button 1 equals new, J labeled 1 equals new. You got swing in there. See all that? So you just initialize your components. Just give them their names. And you can give it some type of name. And you just put in there. So here's your button, here's your label, here's your list, and here's your scroll. And see, I put stuff in there. You don't have to put anything in there. And then once again, because I want things the way I want them, I did all this. Once again, you can set them in a grid, and all you have to do is put the sizes in there. So then you just put in your main public up here, and then all you have to do is put in set up your event queue, invoke and runnable with your Java AWT public void run. Then set your project visible equals true, and then remember this little bit, okay? And then you just set up your declare your variables, same as above. So when you run that, see, and you come up with a form. I mean, it's a lot of writing, but you can come up with whatever you want to put in there, okay? See, it's possible to do in this environment with a command prompt, but it's so much easier to do with the Java NetBeans. So let me show you what that looks like. Now I'm going to open that up. Swing GUI, that's right, we're supposed to do Swing GUI. Then I click the JFrame form, and I click Next. And I'm going to call this one Project 62. So now I right click this form and I set my layout. I want to use free design again. Okay, so I want to do what? I'm going to do a list box. So I'm going to put the list box up here. And so I'm going to come on down. I click on the items. I look for the components. It tells me to look for a components. Here we go, where it says model. So I go all the way over. So item 1, I'm going to say Monday. Item 2, I'm going to call Tuesday. Item 3, I want to call Wednesday. Item 4, I want to call Thursday. And item 5, I want to call Friday. So when I click out here, then I have my days of the week here. Okay, I can put a toggle button here. I could put a label to go with that toggle button. So I call label 1, are you happy? And toggle 1 button, the text I'm going to put on there is yes. And I'll put another one up. And this will say no. So the text I'll put on here, no. Line it up. Oh, what else they want to hear? Okay, button, text field, text area. I guess we did a list box. And a checkbox and a label. Okay, we got a variety, so let's look at this. We got a list box, a couple buttons, text field. And maybe we'll do a text area here. Do a text field. That's plenty. We'll put in here, my name is. So you're all set. You just save it. And it's all ready to send. It's not too difficult. Once again, you can see it's a lot of work in the Java development kit, but if you got the Java beans, Java NetBeans, it's just a drag and drop. So I just wanted to show you that. Okay? Talk to you later. So that is, once again, you can do either one of those. Okay? You have your choice. You can do the applet registration form with 5 fields and an OK and cancel button, HTML code, or I can do a program to display a frame like we just did. Okay? Talk to you later. Have a great week. Bye.